Two legendary talents of Barcelona, a wizard and an alien, mentor and pupil, Ronaldinho and Messi. Seems unrealistic to count how many times these two made many children fall in love with football with their performances. Today, we will try to find out which of these outstanding players was the coolest at their best conditions. We, of course, will not compare their careers, as it is obvious that Ronaldinho has spent much less seasons at a high level, having more humble statistics and a number of trophies. But can Gaucho be able to compete with his successor if we evaluate their best seasons? Let's figure out the matter. Remember Ronaldinho's dazzling smile every time he stepped to the pitch? We get the exact same expression on our faces when we see you subscribing to our channel and giving a like to our videos. It's better for you to know that you can always make our day better. And on this note, we ought to say vamos and begin. When comparing Ronaldinho and Messi, we must focus on the times at which they began their journey at the club. When Ronnie landed at the Camp Nou in 2003, Barcelona didn't have a taste of trophies for 4 years. Now Barça fans can't even imagine these times, but it was a harsh reality back then. Actually, 2003 was the year of the first spell of Joan Laporta to the post of president of the club, and Ronaldinho became the fulfillment of his campaign promise to sign a world star. From that moment on, the ascent of that Barcelona squad, which would later become an unstoppable force for many years, actually began. In fact, Ronaldinho arrived during the instructional period and was able to get the first trophy only his second season with the club, in the 2004 and 2005 campaign. The Blaugranas won the Spanish National League. However, we are to choose his very peak, the next season of 2005 and 6, taken as an example of prime Ronaldinho. Firstly, it was the best time in Brazilian's career in terms of result-focused actions. Secondly, in 2005, he was the one who won the Ballon d'Or. And thirdly, this season, Barça won the Champions League. But we'll talk about all this later. For Leo, things were a little different. Although he made his debut in the following season after Ronaldinho, from his position, the path to trophies was shorter. Indeed, during the first campaign, he succeeded in winning La Liga. In the next one, he managed to get the Champions League Cup. Alright, in this season, he was still a reservist, a guy who shows promising results and is attracted to games for the first team. He hasn't yet become the key to the club's success. For the next couple of years, he was already a player of the main roster, but the real breakthrough came in 2008 to 2009. Yes, this is exactly the period when Pep Guardiola managed the team, kicked Ronaldinho out and made Messi the main star of the club. From that moment, Leo's entire career has been one solid sparkle. After all, his game and performances became something beyond understanding. Although, we will have our eyes on the 2011-12 season. It was not only Guardiola's last year at the helm of the club, but a phenomenal run for Messi, even by his alien standards. Why? More on that later. So, the 2005 to 2006 season, the one in which Ronaldinho shone like never before in his career. Perhaps the best highlight of that season was El Clásico on November 19th. Barça slammed Real Madrid 3-0 at the Bernabeu, while Gaucho scored two outstanding individual goals in the second half. For his fabulous efforts, Real Madrid fans awarded him a standing ovation. These shots have become legendary for a long time. Getting this kind of recognition from the supporters of your rival is worth a lot. In particular, that match was remembered by Sergio Ramos. The Spaniard played as a right back then, trying to stop Ronaldinho for the entire game. It is difficult to say if the Spaniard has ever experienced the same suffering in his career. Ramos himself spoke very briefly about the Brazilian wizard. Ronaldinho was virtually unstoppable at his best, as a forward or playmaker. As for statistics, it was also his greatest season. Actually, it became the only period in Brazilian's career where the amount of useful actions exceeded the amount of appearances. On his account, there were 26 goals and 24 assists in 35 games in all competitions. but the Ballon d'Or and the Champions League victory only underlined the phenomenal success. Besides, most fans love Ronaldinho not for goals or trophies, but for the legacy he left in the history of football. There's probably no child in the world who wouldn't try to repeat what Gaucho did on the pitch. Elastico, famous volley kicks over opponents, and acrobatic stunts. All these moves are prescribed in the history books and will always be associated with Ronnie. As we mentioned earlier, it is very difficult to single out any particular season of Leo Messi, starting with the 2008 to 2009 campaign, because individually they were all magnificent, and here's why. From that very moment until today, that is 13 full seasons, Leo Messi has more useful actions than appearances in each. Yes, you've heard right. For 13 seasons in a row, the Argentinian has more than one goal contribution point per match. What Ronaldinho was able to achieve only once, Leo has been doing for 13 years, and it seems he is not going to stop. And of course, each of these 13 rounds was more productive for the Argentinian than the same 2005 and 6 for Ronaldinho. However, we have already announced that we will take the 2011 and 2012 campaign for the peak season. It hasn't been successful for Barça in terms of trophies, but that doesn't matter. Just take a look at Messi's stats: 73 goals and 34 assists in 60 appearances in all competitions. Back in the days, Leo has netted or assisted 107 times in total. This result, by the way, surely doubles Ronaldinho's best. Not the easiest question, given that these players represent different eras and moreover found themselves in different circumstances. It should also not be forgotten that Ronaldinho had a lot to do with Messi's development as a player. Leo once noted, "Ronaldinho helped me a lot. I came into the dressing room at 16-17 years of age. Seeing all those footballing giants made it tough, but he mentored me and made me feel comfortable, and I loosened up." You can't just put the Brazilian aside in this battle. Firstly, he played for a team that was much weaker than the one in which Leo Messi shone. Secondly, it seems that he never really chased the individual records and put the trail on the game in the first place. Football is about joy, it's about dribbling. I favor every idea that makes the game beautiful. Every good idea has to last, he stated. God knows what Ronaldinho could have achieved if he hadn't made a choice in favor of parties and hangouts. This topic doesn't fit in the context of the video, but we really wanted to watch the Brazilian wizard play much longer. But if Ronaldinho was different, he might not have been able to give us all those sweet emotions from his style of play. You know what? We probably won't make a choice in anyone's favor in this release. We're about to leave this step to you, and we'll definitely check on who you choose in the comments below, so give us your opinions on who is better, Ronaldinho or Messi. It will be very interesting to read them. Let the discussion begin.